you've got it all wrong because I wasn't fucking complaining about them taking it in. I was just putting my poop in their bin.
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk that I wear dad pants. Let's cook some pork. Hello, everybody. Dad pants time. My name is Stu. Not a professional singer, although I don't blame you for being confused about that. Not a professional singer, but if you want to pay me to come to your party or anything else to sing, I'm happy to do that. Monty, how are you, sir?
I'm good. A little interested by that plug you had for your singing stuff at parties. I thought we weren't going to bring that up.
Well, I didn't plan to do it, but I just, I started with song and I thought, bloody hell, that might confuse some people that I might do this for a living.
Do you remember when we were younger, probably before having children, I would see a lot of kind of vans or trucks of people who seem to be kind of mobile party DJs or party singers.
Mm.
Does that happen anymore? I feel like I haven't seen that in quite some time.
What, you mean prior to COVID knocking all that out anyway?
I look back, COVID probably feels like it definitely would have put the final nail in the coffin, but it feels like there'd been a good decade since I had seen something of that nature. It was probably iPods. It was probably the invention of like easy music access at your house.
Yeah. Spotify playlists, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I've never been a fan. So, do your own music. Do something that means something to you rather than have some goober up there playing whatever,
I'd like to go to like a house party that has a band at it. I haven't been to a house party that has a band at it in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Some sort of chilled. Are you talking like not like a electrified band rocking it out, or are you talking about like a chilled Sunday kind of acoustic band
one
in the corner? Yeah.
Sunday, like jazz trio.
All right.
Something with a stand-up bass.
That's fair. I wouldn't mind that. Not very daddish though. We're probably off topic a little early here.
Oh, jazz trio stand-up bass. I don't know. It could be a bit daddish.
Hipster daddish, I guess.
I reckon one of the guys in the trio, at least, is a dad.
Okay. This trio that we're imagining.
Yep, imagine trio.
Okay. You should probably give us an update on how your dadding's going.
Dadding's going pretty good.
Any relief in the sleep stakes?
Yeah, it's just the sleep stakes are very up and downsies. She has made 2 to 4 days of badness and then, 2 brilliant nights. But when I say badness, they're never too bad. They're kind of just waking every couple of hours, maybe even longer, and being relatively easy to settle, but just getting up rather than being able to settle herself. But then some nights she can settle herself, and we're on a run of good nights at the moment.
Yeah, excellent.
We had quite a thing happen today. Wasn't quite a thing. It was a planned thing. It happens to everyone. She got her second set of injections.
Oh, yeah.
This morning. So we were at the doctor. She was very brave. She did really well. She got 2 at once in either leg and just did a little cry, but then Mum comforted her pretty good. But so she's pretty tired this afternoon. I think we'll, knock on wood, probably get a good sleep out of injection day. So if we just give her more vaccinations, we'll be fine for nights.
Is that going to mess her sleep up later though?
Maybe actually. But right now I'm riding on the tired Augie wave.
Let's see. All right. Well, fuck off.
Keep that in.
Sorry. My cat keeps coming in here. I don't want it in here because I've got stuff everywhere and it's pissing on things currently.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It is. But that's the first episode of Pet Pants, a new spin-off that we're going to have.
Have you ever seen that, just on that note, have you ever seen an image? Do you think a dog or a cat, any quadruped, would they wear pants just on their back legs or pants that go up to the side of them on all 4 legs? Do you know what I mean?
I do. Isn't that a meme of, some age now on the internet? How would something or other wear pants?
Sure. And what's your answer?
Showing your dad age. I think I think it has to be on the hindquarters. Otherwise, it'd be like they're wearing pant gloves. Let's count them as hands.
Does that mean that the front bits are arms?
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So dogs have 2 hands and 2 feet.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
That's
just
one way to look
because
at it.
it's fairly easy to imagine if a dog was standing on its hind legs and started kind of,
More like a
becoming more human as going, oh,
Yeah.
Monty,
Yeah.
thank you for looking after me all this time. Then they'd probably, then what would you shake as a kind of greeting?
Ooh.
You
I don't
wouldn't,
know
you
if
wouldn't
they'd
stoop
follow
down.
that.
You wouldn't stoop down and start shaking the bottom bit. You'd shake the top. Arm.
If I had to shake one of them, I'd shake one of the top ones. Yes.
Correct.
You're
Yes.
right.
Are we steering away from dad stuff again here? I feel this is anyway, it's my son's birthday today. He's 10 years old, and up until this point, I could probably still convince myself that he's not that old, and therefore I'm not that old.
Yes.
But double digits now, so
10's a hard one. Yeah.
that's a decade. There's a name for that. It's a decade.
Yeah.
So can't convince myself now really that we're all still in early days and everyone's young. And
does that make him a tween?
I would say 11 to. I guess so. I don't know. You're very big on labeling things, making sure things have the right label, aren't you?
Yes, I like to pigeonhole things. I don't want anything to kind of stray from the way I see the world.
Lots of animal talk here. I've got pissing cats. We've got dogs with pants, and now we're talking pigeons. This is
nice.
There's a lot of animal gear going on here. Yeah, but I'm very impressed with what my son wanted for his birthday, because most kids want video game stuff or something tech related. He just wanted books and a hammock.
Nice. Oh, that's a lovely gift. Did you get him that?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I got him video games.
I said no. No, here's PlayStation 4, 5.
Yeah.
What are we up to? 5. Yeah.
Who knows?
No, I did.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's got a hammock ready for a big reading session out the back right now.
Are you at a stage where 10 is a good age to be kind of given kind of life-shaping books? Did you give him anything that you had read that you felt was a good lesson?
He's a very, very big reader. Like, he's a voracious reader.
6'1", 6'2".
To what?
He's a big reader, 6 foot.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Sorry.
I'm just going to let that bird noise linger for a bit in the background there too, if that's all right. Even the birds don't want it. Even the birds have shut up and kind of grimacing to themselves now. My point was that, he reads a lot and reads a pretty wide spread of stuff already, and I don't want to put too much pressure on him when he already reads a lot to say, no, you got to read this, you got to read that, you got to do that. I tried, because he was reading a series about dragons.
Nice.
Which made me think, he'd love The Hobbit.
Yeah. Sure.
But I don't know. I don't know whether he didn't like it or just didn't. It felt a bit like homework if someone's telling you to read something,
Yeah, fair.
So I'm not going to do that unless he really runs out of stuff to read or seems to be waning in enthusiasm. So.
Is 10 years old too young for Catcher in the Rye?
Well, how young's too young to kind of understand prostitution?
Well, what was his name? Holden Caulfield? He was pretty young, wasn't he? He was like 17?
Yeah, that's a bit different to 10. Also, I don't think he...
That's what I was asking. I have a 4-month-old. I don't know.
So your question is 17 much different to 10?
Yes.
Say yes. All right, good night, everybody. That's our dad lesson for the night.
Yes, okay, sure, that's fair.
Yeah, well, I thought maybe Hobbit might be a bit much too, with all the kind of orcs and sword play and all the rest of it. But it's a moot point. he doesn't want to read it just for now. So,
Yeah.
did you have your question? Was that your question?
No, was that your question? No, that wasn't my question. The question was less of a question, but it was that thing of like, we're getting to a stage of having Augie now where we're realizing, okay, we've wrapped our heads around this whole keeping her alive and keeping her healthy thing.
Yeah, step one.
It's gonna be that start soon of like, oh no, we have to start, teaching her things and like preparing her for the world. Was that a big change in your mind when 10 years ago when your boy was just going from kind of you could keep him alive to I got to start teaching this things now?
Well, I don't know that it's a sudden change. If it was, it'd probably be a bit daunting. But
Yes.
but it happens organically, I guess. I don't think it's something you have to sit there and kind of count down.
Yep.
Until, all right, now's the day that we have to teach whatever. If this cat doesn't piss off, I swear to God, get out.
Have you got any tuna in the room?
No. I've got clean clothes that are at kind of easy access for her to back up onto and spray, which
Man.
she's driving me nuts. The problem is, like, she's driving me nuts, right? But the
Go
reason
on.
she's doing it is because she's a nervous wreck because of the other friggin' cat who's a dick
No.
and pushes her around
Really?
and tries to fight her.
Yep, I know the vibe. We got the dogs doing that kind of shit at my house at the moment.
Yeah. Pet pants. Okay.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry for talking about the cat. I just saw it creep into the room in the corner of my eye, and
They're rather sneaky cats.
I'm going to get that fucker, I swear. All right. So, no, look, I think it's something, it just happens organically. And when you see kind of moments where you can teach something, you do.
Teaching moments.
Yeah, you don't have to suddenly, all right, kiddo, here's everything I know. Let's sit down.
Wednesday's math. Yeah,
You're going to have to book in, a good solid fortnight here. Anyway, shall we talk to the Pants panel about some things?
I think it's a good idea.
Now, interestingly, in this chat with the Pants panel, both you and I offer up a couple of things that I think we were expecting to get some support for, and things didn't quite go the way we wanted. Let's watch. Or
Nice
listen,
tease.
rather.
Nice tease. I've been listening to a lot of heavy reggae with the baby. She loves a bit of heavy dubs, like a bit of Toots and the Maytals, that kind of vibe.
You're the man, Ellis. Now you're the man.
The reggae kind of vibes seem pretty baby, kind of workable.
It's hard to tell whether they actually like it or whether it's just because that's what you're playing.
Fair.
Like I always maintained
Yeah,
that
fair.
the kids were well into Rage Against the Machine, but they weren't really given many options. So
They didn't turn around and go, hey, drop this shit.
the shop. Well, that would explain their "fuck you, I won't do what you told me" attitude that they seem to have. So
Yeah. Wanting to go to
Things.
Maggie's farm for some reason. Dad pants time again. Let's not faff around because we've got so much to talk about. We got so much that it's spilling over from the previous episode. We'll get back to that in a little while. Fellas, how are we?
all right.
Oh, good.
I'm walking properly.
Yes.
You wanted to hear the podiatry talk, eh? All right.
That was a subtle segue.
It's a podiatry chisel. That's what
You've been back to the podiatrist?
I have. I went and saw the podiatrist. I've got my boot off. I have my shoe on, and I'm allowed to play golf.
Hey.
All right.
Yes, that was the the last time you heard about my my foot. I wasn't in great shape.
Hey,
And the
dude,
question-
you were allowed to play golf before. Fuck them, man. Whatever they say, like you do what you want, man. Don't worry. Like it's probably
Sadly-
advisable not to play golf, but fuck them. You can play golf. Don't say you're not allowed. Continue.
The prick also said I wasn't allowed to play the violin, but that's that's another story. There was no way that I could have played golf to my usual poor standard in the boot. So
But who cares about that? It's guilt-free golf because you get to drive the buggy around without feeling like a lazy bastard.
How good is guilt-free golf?
the GFG?
And disparaging the boot is a bootable offence, Wiggins.
Oh, guilt-free golf.
Sorry, Ellis, but the guilt-free golf is going to be that's outstanding. Like that's the best kind of golf because most golf, I would say 93.5% of golf has a thread of guilt running through it. It just depends on how thick that thread is.
Well, just how you got there, how you even got kind of the opportunity to go out and play what you
got
to do.
5 hours away from your family.
And this is it. I think that we need to really establish here that we're not being like golfers from the perspective of we consider ourselves to be good golfers or sports people or anything like that. This is purely golf as an endeavor of aloneness, I'm assuming.
Getting away from people.
Alonosity.
So much so that Matt and Rich often play alone.
Yeah. It's a 2-hour walk.
Ben, are you going to play alone?
No, I'm going away with some family.
Right.
And we will play in there'll be a threesome. So and it's banter golf. That's what I like about this particular golf is that there's heavy banter.
Right.
Put $5 on a hole.
Oh, look, there's limited cash, limited betting, which is strange because I love a good bet. But no, it's mainly about how can you make someone laugh before they have their shot?
It's the psychological warfare of it. Yeah,
exactly. More so than
And you're trying to give someone the yips, aren't you?
Well, pretty much. And one of the best strategies is to just not say anything because they're expecting you to say something. So if you say nothing, it's the old reverse psychology.
Yeah. Maybe we can have like a explainer episode of how to throw people off their golf game if you have them around. That might be a good episode for us to have.
I reckon that's pretty good. I'll give you some updates when I've come back.
I'm currently watching season 1 of The Sopranos with my wife as she hasn't watched it. Ooh. And there's a good scene in which Tony is trying to throw Junior off his golf game and he's referring to his somewhat love of cunnilingus. If anyone remembers the scene. And he does well throwing him off, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
all right.
Sorry, that was a bit weird.
No, that's okay. The thing is, when you got 5 people all in a conversation at once, sometimes you expect someone else to pick it up and run with it, and sometimes they just don't. And sometimes it just hangs there.
The problem was that as soon as anyone brings up The Sopranos, is that I want to give you an opinion about The Sopranos that's not the.
If you're going to say that you're not interested in The Sopranos, we don't want to hear that.
No. I watched the entire Sopranos and I enjoyed it, but I feel like it's on the same level as Mad Men in that it's really overrated.
Oh, Mad Men overrated too? Why though?
But in order for us to understand whether we value that opinion or not, you got to tell us something.
You don't value that opinion. I just wanted to say it. I just wanted to throw that firecracker out there and.
No, but tell us a series that you value. Yeah, don't think is overrated and is brilliant and one of the best.
All right, so I would say Hogan's Heroes, all the war ones.
Hey, we should let the. You know how? Have you ever seen the advertorials where they have a 30 CD DVD set of Dad's Army? They should sponsor Dad Pants, surely.
Up Pompeii,
MASH. MASH was good.
It ain't half hot, Mum, whatever that is.
No, look, I would say that my favourite series would be Breaking Bad.
Really? Okay. I think Breaking
top.
Bad is great, but it's no Sopranos.
I don't know. They're different. I don't know.
They are different. Yeah. They are. I'll agree with that.
Like, there's not I think that there's two. I think that the way that Breaking Bad was incredibly well structured from beginning to end. Whereas I feel that Sopranos is a fantastic vignette on the family, and whereas Breaking Bad is a cracking story for me.
Completely
So that
agree.
would be-
Rewatching Sopranos, I am noticing it is character and character interaction driven, less story driven.
Yeah.
Completely
Yeah.
agree with that.
We appear to have delved into the Welcome to Television podcast again.
Again, sorry, my apologies.
That's
And I
okay.
knew that would happen. But
That's right. That's fine. I'm going to push into my dadicdote because I don't remember where any of that was going. So
I
I've
uh,
heard
just got,
cunnilingus and tuned out. So
well, started thinking of other things, strangely, yeah. Look, I've got a question for you, dads, right? How much mowing is too much mowing?
great question,
All right.
Buckland. That is an outstanding question.
I'll tell you why I'm asking. My next door neighbor. Well,
Sorry, before you even begin, this is contingent on one simple follow-up question.
age.
Is it how much mowing you're doing or how much mowing your neighbour's doing?
well,
That's a very different question.
preemptive strike from you. I was about to say the reason I ask is that my neighbor pisses me off by overmowing. Right? He's an overmower.
But is he also, what's his timing like? Is he a morning overmower or is
Yes.
he a late afternoon overmower?
Usually morning, but can be late afternoon. I suppose if
Are we talking on
same
the daily
day?
here? Daily here or
Day mowing.
but
Is he
here's
on
the
the daily?
thing, like, I feel guilty about being pissed off by it because I am definitely an undermower. There's no two ways about that. I'm an undermower. But
Hang on. Put a pin in that for 2 seconds because I have a question.
I'll get
Now,
through a
Buckland-
sentence soon.
Yeah, you will. But you're an undermower. So does that mean you overmow when because you've undermown? Like, do you go 2 or 3 levels short than you
Lower
should?
because you're gone too high.
That's right. Do you try and
No, well, I have a battery operated mower actually. So the actual level I'm cutting to depends on how much battery power I've got left. So you start low, and then as you start to run out and you go, I'm not going to quite make this bit before I have to recharge.
So what, you have some kind of lawn fade?
yeah?
It's New Jack City
my
stuff.
lawn's going
Yeah,
to fade
right?
because
There we
Yeah,
go.
flat top
That's a
fade.
fantastic episode title.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you go, all right, because you ration your battery power. You go,
You ration your battery. I use petrol, mate.
Oh,
well,
shit.
I actually think it's a bigger kind of dad play to want a kind of planet my children can live on into the future. So you go and
sorry, Buck. I can't
you
go
go
to
to
you.
your
You've been
petrol.
dadded.
Get out of here.
So,
Shit.
but you do find yourself rationing and going, all right, I'm probably running out of battery juice here. I need to finish this section. Otherwise, it's a 2-hour wait for the batteries to recharge. Right?
You don't want to go back to the mow.
No,
That's the thing. You want to get it done in one go. You want
I
the
wanna
one go
start-
mow.
one go mow,
One
and I want
go mow, yeah.
to start. Like I want to charge my batteries and start a new section. If I come back to this section, that's pitiful. That's pitiful if I have to come back and start halfway through a section.
It's like
Well, how do
taking
you-
more than one go to get your shopping back into the house. That's
Yeah, you just don't do it. Or you take as much as you can and you'll come back for the paper towel, which has fallen out.
yeah.
That's the one
Bread.
thing.
Come back for bread.
Yeah. So you do find yourself raising your kind of cut size, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a bit less battery power, the higher you go.
Mm.
What do you got?
Anyway.
What kind of sizes you got? Is it like your hair? Is it like a 1, a 2, and a 3?
Yeah, it is like a clipper.
Oh, great
yeah.
question.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
will. You just go up there. I don't know the sizes exactly, and I don't know if that's making me a poor dad.
Surely it'd be inches. What do you measure grass in? Is it hands like a horse?
It's not hands. I
No,
can guarantee. It's any
No.
more than one
It's
hand.
hands.
It's very
If
hard.
you're
As
measuring in
in-
hands, like
It's hands as in German men. Like that's how many. That's how you measure grass.
Well, what if it is hands like a horse, but it's like 1/5 of a hand?
Jeez, that's a lot of.
Like a knuckle? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, there you go. A knuckle.
Yeah, knuckles probably a good way to measure
2 knuckles
grass.
of grass. Yeah.
Yeah.
How
I'll
did we
give you a
get
knuckle and
here?
a half of grass.
I fed my horse 3 knuckles of grass today.
Yeah, nice. He's 12 hands
reason-
high. I gave him 3 knuckles of grass.
I'm going to cut off the knuckles gear, just in the interest of keeping going.
How do you organise your sections? Are you talking about front, back, or side, or are you talking about the
Yeah,
sections
good-
within the
good
sections?
question.
Like,
Good question.
how are we actually when we're talking sections here, Buckland? How do you delineate?
Is this your whole mower, by the way? It's not just a whippersnipper. It's a whole mower?
What?
You have a battery-powered mower?
Yeah.
Not a whippersnipper. This is a mower.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What are you
Okay,
confused
I didn't-
about?
I
Well, I
once
didn't
had a
think you
lawnmower that was like electric. Yeah, it was always plugged in.
Whoa.
IMO.
So, like worries about
Oh,
running
yeah,
over
Flymo.
the cord?
You had to be very clever and always alert to that. But yes, there was always concern about that.
It wouldn't it be more like a vacuum cleaner for the backyard? A backyard vacuum cleaner?
Did it say that on the box? Please make sure you're very clever about your mowing here.
It was just gifted to me for free, so I was like, all right, I'll try this. And then we moved into a house with lawn, and now I don't need it.
Just
But
as
that slipped by.
just as a dad fail.
That's nothing to hooray about.
I know. I'm just trying to support you, Maddie.
No, thank you, Ellis.
I know this is a sore point for you.
You've always been a good friend.
I'll get around to answering the question. I have 5 distinct lawn sections. Okay.
And that's separated by paths. Like when you say a section, it's not necessarily they're distinct areas, is what you're telling me.
No. A far more important question. Do you have a favourite?
Oh, great question.
Side lawn.
Yeah, favorite to look at or favorite to mow? What are you talking about?
Oh, good. I'm glad you had 2 answers for that. What about both of them?
Okay. So, here's the difficulty, right? You got to get your order right. Otherwise, you're going to get halfway through a section and your battery's going to run out.
1, 3, 2, 4, 5.
It's all to do with how long since you last mowed. You know, the amount of rainfall.
Why don't you get your neighbour to mow? Can't you get your neighbour who's always mowing to mow your lawn?
What
If
do
he
you
does
do
2 mows a
front?
day, get the second mow a day to be yours.
Well, okay. There's I don't know where we stand with the neighbour. We're at a point where, and you probably have these relationships somewhere along the line, where you sometimes get a hello and you sometimes get blanked.
Right.
Do you have these? You have these people in your life?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where you're never quite sure what kind of greeting you're going to get. If
My
any.
wife does that to me.
Yep.
So anyway, just back to my complaint, which is really all I want to talk about.
Yeah.
This guy mows once every 2 weeks, regardless of what kind
Of
of
the weather and events. and all that
weather,
stuff.
growth, sunshine factors. And I think it's because he's got nothing else to do.
Okay.
Yeah, but we've
Which-
spoken before about like Wigo's time of peace is when he's mowing the lawn.
I don't think once
that's
every
great.
2 weeks is over mow.
But no, but what if your peace is disturbing someone else's peace?
I think, well, fuck them. You're a dad. This is this is your prerogative as a father.
And
Yeah.
further twist is my perspective all fucked because I'm an undermower.
Your perspective's all fucked, I think.
Your
Buckland, so-
perspective
You
is
do
fucked
have a-
because you've got a battery-powered fucking mower. Like,
This is not good. Come on, guys.
More importantly, I need to know how early is he mowing.
Yes.
That's the only question I have.
Good question.
There have been some 8 o'clock mows.
Yeah, see
fine.
now that's crossing the line.
no,
Now, are you
summer or
guys-
winter though?
crossing the line. Pre-8.
Are you
No,
guys
8 a.m.
ever-
is dumb. That means he's waiting for 8 o'clock to
Yep,
be an absolute
absolutely.
dickhead.
And you know it's annoying because you can actually make noise from 7 onwards, but you know he's waiting for 8 because he thinks he's being extra
He's
nice
been
to everybody.
considerate. Yeah.
That sounds
fucking
nice.
annoying.
Why are you being a
No.
dick about it?
Yeah.
He sounds all right, man. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, well, let's
Thanks,
send him
Monty.
over to Monty's house when Augie's had a terrible night's sleep, and get him going at 8 o'clock when you've
Exactly.
just got her to sleep.
Yeah, that sounds fucking
Let me,
horrid,
let
actually.
me tell you, I wanted it to be obvious without me saying it, but maybe I just want to feel better about my
Being an
undermowing.
Yeah. See, I'm not going to. That was the part
We
of the
can't
story
go
that I'm
with you
feeling
there, I'm
incredulous
afraid.
about, mate. Yeah.
I think you need a new lawnmower.
Why are you so anti-battery?
Buckland.
He's an
I
anti-vaxxer.
think there's
Oh.
look. I'm pro
Is
battery,
it-
but not for the certain things that don't like. Batteries are great for lots of things, like women's sex toys, but not for fucking
Torches.
lawnmowers. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right.
More importantly, can we hijack Movember? Has anyone thought of that before?
Not bad.
Well,
Seriously,
That's
I just
good.
Not
the
bad.
amount of times we've mentioned it. Can we
That's
just
good.
hijack it and just make it about lawn mowing?
Yes.
that's good.
That's
How would we do it?
Apart
We
from
would
just
have to
claim the
be.
name. No, I've got no ideas about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Look, we better move on because we got two other things to fit in here, and I have no idea how much time we have left. Monty, you had a issue about bins.
Oh no, wasn't it? This actually fits in perfectly. This will work very well. It was a suggestion for a new dad commandment, and it was, thou shalt not put a green bin out half full or empty. So the thought is, you get every 2 weeks they'll take away your organic rubbish, and you are losing out. You are making a bad decision if you put it out with nothing there or with a very small fill. You always have some reason to fill up a green bin. Is my
Sorry, just to clarify, because this is going to. Sorry. Where we are, we actually have the green bin is our weekly bin. Our other twos, our recyclables,
this could
and
get very
our
confusing.
general
Yeah, sure.
waste is on the bi-weekly.
wow.
So we have the
Whoa.
green waste every week.
So
gets
there's an expectation that
So
you're
there's
supposed
very
to
often-
mow your lawn once a week, Ellis. Is
Well,
that the
the green, our green bin,
That's
we put
ridiculous
everything in the
overmowing.
green bin. So we put
Ridiculous
literally
the Mildura overmowers?
the Mildura overmowers is a very proud and prestigious society who, like the stonecutters, we have our own handshake, and because we put in all of our food scraps and everything like that.
All your organics, right?
Every
Right.
organic, so anything which was once living goes in this bin. So animal, kitty litter stuff, bones, everything goes in the green bin. So, but it's very often that it won't be filled up on the weekly because it's the big bin.
Well, sorry, that doesn't.
That was why I was a bit
apply.
confused when it
I
came through. I was a bit.
understood. No, we where I am, we have a green bin which represents kind of organic matter, and it's only picked up every 2 weeks. And we are at the point, so maybe this.
So it ties in really well with the fact that Buckland is an undermower. Is basically what you're shaming.
There
the
you go.
undermowers out there.
Nice.
where
And
you're
what you're
coming
saying is that if you put a green bin out half full, then you've been a lazy fucker because there's never any
Yes.
reason for it to be half full.
Exactly. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
look, I will, being a proud mower, I would suggest that sometimes timing can come into it. Now,
Yes.
being in a position in a job where I have sort of random days off, if I have a day off prior to the green bin going out, then I'm more than happy to have a mow and probably stick a bin out half full. But my day off is usually a Thursday. I usually have a Thursday off, which is the day after the bin goes out, which means I may very well not have mown in that last 2 weeks. Now, where does that put me? Like, where am I? Where am I in this spectrum of mowing and bins?
Where am I? It's the most existential question we've ever had.
Yeah, he shouldn't be breaking a commandment by virtue of having random
Well, can
days
I
off.
suggest something? I hate to say it, but perhaps we're being too mowing centric. Because I, for one, filled up a quarter of my green bin this week by taking out stuff from my eaves troughs.
Yeah, fair.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's other ways to fill a, it's what they always say. It's an old saying. There's other ways to fill a green bin.
Yeah, just getting into your hedge.
Exactly.
If you got one. Yeah.
How big is
Couple
it?
of twigs.
Is it like a 360 or a 240?
Oh, 360 probably.
The big one?
There's a big one. Yeah, she's
okay.
a big one. I used to live in the inner city. We had 240s, maybe even 180s.
Oh,
But no, this would definitely be a 360.
I love
Strange though that the amount of pruning you were doing in the backyard was less, but the amount of pruning you were doing on your head was more when you were living in the inner city.
I like that. Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, I think we should put that to the listeners if they can be bothered.
If they share our fascination with bins.
Hey, I got another bin question while we're all on bins, right?
All right. Well, I'll just shut the fuck up, will I?
Yeah, you should, because this is a good bin question. And it's actually an interesting thing that I've never said out loud to people, but I'd like to know their opinions. My favourite days of the week to walk my dog. No, listen up. You'll get there. Yes, you can guess if you'd like, but know that it relates to bin night being Wednesday night. So my favourite nights to walk the dog are Wednesday
Dropping
or
shits
Thursday.
in other people's bins.
Exactly. What are your thoughts on putting my dog's poops in a bag in another person's bin?
No problems with that whatsoever.
If it's bin night, then go for it.
If it's bin night, they're already out on the street.
What about,
That's
okay,
fine.
bin night, not a problem, but what about Thursday if you haven't taken your bin in?
Oh, no.
So dropping a freshie in the bottom.
No.
That's wrong. Wrong.
But like, fuck you. You haven't taken your bin in.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Drop your shit
That's
wherever you
typical
want,
dog
then,
owner
won't you?
attitude, isn't it?
Yeah, that
I was
is.
going to say, Jesus.
Okay.
Pet
Right.
owners.
Well,
We have a
legit.
rule in our street that it is a free-for-all once your bin is out.
So you just people
If your bin is out,
people's bins.
if your bin is out and it has some space in it, be prepared to look out in the morning and have the lid 3/4 of the way open.
Yeah,
With
good,
people
because
having
it's jam-packed.
shoved shit
Yeah,
in their
of
bin.
course.
Exactly.
Sure.
Listen, Ben, we've said before you live in a street that is all part of a cult. The rules are different for you guys.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Everyone's rubbish is everyone.
Yeah, it's communal
That's right.
rubbish.
Rubbish is everyone's.
communal
yeah.
rubbish.
Yeah,
That's on our crest.
that's right. And I'm sure you all have an agreed upon mowing length of time between mows that's
No.
acceptable to the community.
Someone rings a big bell and they all start mowing at the same time.
Please, back to my question. Legit, I can't put in poops the day after the bin's been collected?
No.
No. Poor form. Very poor form.
That's like
Oof.
putting raw chicken in someone's bin.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
like getting a
Put
barbecue
prawn
chalk.
heads.
Yeah.
I take prawn heads to the
skeleton.
local
put them in your
park.
bin.
Do you
gonna
guys take
suck on around
prawn
with-
heads in a bag to the local park? I go down to the local
I
park.
put them in the freezer and then I put them in
Put
the
them in
bin
the
on
freezer, put them in
midnight.
bin night. That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
No, I put them in the bin at the local park, which gets collected.
Well, is that's
daily.
probably that's old-fashioned dad move.
Yeah.
That's
Well, it
a-
gets collected
that-
like daily, that bin. So
Yeah.
like,
That's a real petrol lawnmower kind of attitude.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Someone
Mullet,
who has a petrol lawnmower
yeah.
and puts their dog shit in people's bins.
Bins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it's like, look, I'm taking my dog for a walk at about
Yeah, no, sorry.
4 or
We've
5 in the
spoken.
afternoon.
The dad panel has spoken, Monty. You're not
But
getting
like
anywhere with
4
this.
or 5 in the, and when is too long for not taking your bin?
It doesn't
Put
matter.
your
It's
own
a fresh
shit in your own
bin.
bin.
Another
Fresh bin.
reason to not have a dog.
Yeah.
Wow, that took a turn. That's quite a leap.
Yeah. Why is carrying a bag of shit so difficult? Back to your own
It's not.
house.
It's not, but it's much easier to put it in a bin that's just there.
What if people have poor
Right.
bin placement?
You're complaining about people being lazy for not bringing their bins in, but you're lazy because you're putting your shit in their bin rather than carrying it home. You see,
No,
it's the same
you've got
thing,
it all
Monty.
wrong because I wasn't fucking complaining about them taking it in. I was just putting my poop in their bin.
Yeah,
Do you have
we're telling
scented bags, Monty? Like, do you
Scented.
carry a scented bag, or is it?
No.
Nobody
just
wants
a-
a scented shit bag. It's like
It's-
mango spray in the toilet.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to smell
exactly.
mango
Yeah,
poop.
it's a weird.
According
kind
to
of
his
polishing
dogs, I've got a
vibe.
scented bag whenever I go around there. They're really keen on it.
That's good. That was
Beautiful,
funny.
Buckland. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good turn of phrase. Yeah. No, they're perfect height for the old scent.
I love that two
Bag.
of the people on this podcast have put forward an idea that they were hoping to get solidarity on, and they've been shut down completely tonight.
Well, I guess that's the point of this podcast. It's just that it's a little hard to take when you're in the wrong.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, you want to.
All right, Monty, are you satisfied or nah? Probably not.
No, like I'm fine. I'll keep fucking putting shit in bins.
I was going to say. I was going to ask. That was my next question.
Fine with
Are
me.
you going to keep doing it?
Like,
All right.
no problems. No, I just wanted to see what people's thoughts were. Like, I just. If
Sorry,
I
what
saw
time of
someone-
day was your complaint? Just one simple question. What time
That's-
of day?
Exactly. That's like
What time?
You weren't listening. So if I'm taking my dog for a walk at 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah, but some people don't come home from work
it.
till like 6 o'clock, man.
That's it.
But
They
what
leave
time are
their
they
fault.
going to
They've been
work? What
collected.
time are they going to work before they've
difference does
collected
that
the
make?
garbage?
Yes, probably. We don't.
I don't know why we have to argue the point. Don't put your shit in a fresh bin.
That's just wrong.
That is a
Not on.
dad
That
commandment.
is a dad
That
commandment.
is a commandment.
This is
Don't
the
put your
most-
shit. There we
Stamping
go.
off with
That's the
Wow,
commandment.
This is the
went-
most conjecture we've
okay.
ever had on the Dead
Yeah,
Pants
geez.
podcast.
Yeah, the conjecture. My
It's,
word.
I'm feeling much more passionate about don't put the shit in a fresh bin than I am about don't put a half empty bin out. Like,
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Well, this is turned. I don't know how to
Sorry,
feel about
Monts,
this
but-
at all.
How do you feel about leaving a section half mode if your batteries run out, though?
Okay. Now, I
Which
have a
one's your
question.
favourite section?
I'll get out
You
there with
guys
a pair of
ever been-
scissors and finish that shit off.
Yeah. Have you guys ever been I suppose for want of a better term, a mirror mower, where you've heard your neighbour go out to mow their lawn and gone, hang on a second, I can't have his lawn looking better than mine.
I tell you what, my neighbour does that to me all the time. And his lawn always looks a lot better anyway. But every time that I've been out there to do it, I see him pop his head out and he has a look around and he comes out and he does it straight away.
Oh, I thought you meant like maybe you wait a little bit after they've done theirs and then you do yours. So yours will just be that little bit shorter throughout the week and look that little bit nicer.
I did that for shoveling snow when I lived in Canada. I would wait till the person beside me went out and they go, oh, yeah, now's the time to go out, because it's actually like if you leave it for a day or two, it's illegal and you get a fine from the local government.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's dangerous for the passers-by. You have to shovel the snow from your sidewalk. It's your responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would just wait till someone else went out and then go out and do it.
All right. Well, look, we've made a little error here in that last episode we said we would carry over Matt's flotation tank chat
Oh, the flotation tank.
into this episode, and we've waited too late. There's only a few
Is
minutes
it going to be
left.
a situation where I just do 2 minutes each week?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that each week we'll just get a slight little bit more chat about it.
Okay.
Probably for the next
Yeah.
5 episodes or so. So
I'm happy to do that.
anything else
let
you
me-
can tell us about it in the next 3 minutes?
The fact that it is complete alone time is delightful. Once the music, because it plays little gentle music and then the music fades, so you get comfortable. You can leave the sliding panel open if you get claustrophobia, but I don't, and I just get straight in there.
So can I just clarify, where the sliding panel like above your eye? So I'm assuming you're lying down. It's like
Yes.
it's like a big coffiny bathtubby type thing. I'm assuming. yeah.
Exactly.
And so it's directly above, so you can see.
I
out.
assume they prefer you don't use the word coffin.
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
it's on the side of the device when you get in
Coffiny
there.
bath industries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so then you slide that panel ahead. You put earplugs in, and there are 2 like handles on the side, so you can sort of center yourself,
Hang
which
on.
doesn't make a lick of difference, shall I say? Because as soon as you let go and you're in the dark, it feels like you're turning around. Like it is.
Yeah.
Every time I've done it, I feel like I am turning and about to hit a wall. Like you are,
And you are
fully-
literally floating in the liquid, as you said, the magnesium.
The first
salts.
time I did it, I sort of was holding my head up more than I needed to, and so you can literally just let
everything
the water,
relax.
Yeah, you're just completely buoyant, and you are just floating in space. Basically, the water is body temperature. And the first time I did it, it took a long time to sort of get used to it, just because you're continually like freaking out that you're going to touch a wall or hit, because you feel like you're moving. But I've done it 3 times, and the more you do it, the faster you can get into a relaxed state. Very quickly you can hear your own heartbeat, and you're own breathing, and then for some reason that sort of goes away, and then you go into freaky mind state. So like I said last episode, that's Kurt Russell. That was the first one I did where I was like, well, that was pretty amazing. The first 2 times I did it, I had, like you said, hallucination, and I said, no, not really, but that's a lie, because both times I imagined I was floating in the ocean, and then like a beam of light came out of my head up into the sky. So that was pretty weird, like that the same thing happened more than once. And so, yeah, that's what happens. You float, and then it's, like I said, it's not quite lucid dreaming, but images and thoughts come in and go as quickly as that.
So you mentioned that you were trying to do some writing at the time, like obviously not while in the tank, but so you were able to recall everything in there with a great deal of clarity,
very, because it's so clear. It's like a lucid dream that you come out and I write it down as quickly as possible.
And that is where the Zoom meeting ended again. So we're in a bit of a habit.
This is a good teaching moment. We should point out, if you want to donate to the podcast so we could get unlimited Zoom to record longer pods, go to your pod player.
Yeah, you can do that. But the problem is, like, we don't necessarily need longer. And I don't think even people who like the show, I don't think will be advocating for it to be longer. I just think we have some sort of dad blindness to the counter. So for those who don't know, we're recording on Zoom. Zoom, for the free version, you got a 40-minute limit, right? And when you start getting close to reaching your limit, it counts down in your Zoom screen. Now, we keep kind of having everyone try and cram everything they want to say in as the time is counting down. Now, I'm not sure whether maybe people are just closing their Zoom screen so they can't see the counter counting down, or maybe this is a new dad commandment or a dad trope of some kind where dads think that kind of tech rules don't really apply to them. What do you think?
I don't know, but just on a tech note, it's unrelated. But did you see what Mark Zuckerberg had on his shelf during his Facebook press conference the other day?
All right, so sorry, you're not interested at all in talking about whether dads feel that, things like timers counting down don't apply to them? That's just not something, you're just going to leave that there, are you? I thought you went to a performing arts school.
I did.
Where's your yes anding?
Which makes me, I'm good at segues. And I've segued into Zuckerberg.
You wagged on all the yes anding classes, didn't you?
Yeah. I was only there for spirit fingers and segues.
Sorry, what did you want to say? I'll just shut the fuck up about what I was trying to talk about.
Well, no, it related to the thing because it was like tech dads and us just not. Did you see what Zuckerberg had on his shelf during his latest Facebook address?
I didn't watch it. I couldn't bear the thought.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either. I just noticed on the internet it said, look at this thing that he has on his thing. So he was in his office, and on his bookshelf behind him, regular books, all that kind of thing, not many books, and a bottle of barbecue sauce. And it appeared...
What, in his office?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the kind of the going kind of concept on the internet is people saying he's an alien and just thinks, yes, people like barbecue sauce. I will put barbecue sauce
hang on,
here.
was it
relate to you humans?
Was it a special kind of bottle of barbecue sauce, or was it just like
Sweet Baby Ray's
master food salt reduced?
Yeah, it was Sweet Baby Ray's. It's good. It's nothing specky.
I reckon he just knocks it back when he's thirsty. That seems like something he'd do.
That does, yeah. Just a sip of barbecue sauce with my computing. Either way, we're sorry about the Zooms just continually ending.
No, that's
donate
okay.
If you want us to talk longer.
Well, you can either donate if you don't want things to cut out like that, or maybe you do. Maybe you like the idea of the episode just cutting off mid-sentence. Let us know on the socials.
If you want for $5, I'll change the timer to 35 minutes instead of 40.
All right, Monty, I'm just going to throw a quick question at you, mate. If you liked this podcast and wanted to help us out, how would you share it around? What would you do?
I would go on, well, I'd go on my social media platforms and let friends know, let family know, spread word of mouth. The holidays are coming up in a month and a half. Tell everyone around the table. Play an episode, play 2 episodes for them.
What, during Christmas lunch or?
During Christmas lunch.
Just say, listen, everyone, I know you haven't seen each other for probably a year or so, but let's just play this Dad Pants episode while we eat.
Very important.
Yeah. All right, Monty, let's work on our Zoom timing for next week's episode, and I'll see you later. So.
See you, mate.
And listeners, we'll see you. Well, we won't see you, but, we'll talk to you later, I guess.
Yeah, it's a figure of speech. They know what it means.